Good morning. Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living weekly live broadcast. Today is Sunday, October 13th of 2019. The Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation for universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and in our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. I have one announcement before we get started. We have a Bridging the Gaps course. Bridging the Gaps is my workbook that came out just a couple months ago. We've got our third course that's going to be starting on November 5th. It's a course for women who want to heal the wounds of life so that they can experience the joy of their divine essence and really understand the truth of the feminine because it's so misunderstood. So it's to heal the wounds of life, to come into a greater understanding and experience of yourself, of your divine essence, and to live true to your most authentic self. So if this is you, it sounds like something that you would like to experience or to deepen within yourself, then please consider joining us. You can find that on the Joyfully Living Wellness website, also under events. Look for Bridging the Gaps, a journey to the center of yourself. And our next group begins on November 5th. Okay, now we're going to come into our prayer and healing circle. So just imagine us all coming together side by side, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, knee to knee, coming together as one. And let's come together, creating the container of our circle, and begin by focusing on breath. And, okay, let's focus on breath. And together let's call on our source in the name of the one most merciful, ever compassionate. We call on you directly. We ask you directly to please send your essence, your pure divine light, your unconditional love, your eternal compassion. We ask you to please send your essence, this stream, into the center of our circle, filling our circle with your vibration, your light, your love, your compassion. Just imagine, visualize, perceive in whatever way you do this stream of light, divine light, the essence of the light of our source, the unconditional love, and the eternal compassion streaming into the center of our circle, filling all of this space, expanding, getting brighter, filling this space. And as you focus on your breath, breathe in this essence of this pure divine light, the unconditional love of eternal compassion. Breathe this in, letting this vibration fill your lungs, surround and penetrate into your heart space with this vibration of pure divine light, unconditional love, of eternal compassion. And as you exhale, relax, release, and soften. And as the poet Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers that you have built against it. So as you inhale this vibration of divine light, of unconditional love, love with no conditions, the essence of pure love, and eternal compassion, compassion that is not based on our time and space 3D material reality, but the ocean of compassion that contains us all, that we subsist in. As you breathe this in, let it flow through your lungs and through your heart space and into the core of your being. to flow through all of you and to wash and cleanse those blocks and barriers so that you can more freely experience the flow of love and light and compassion in your life. So as you breathe that in, let it fill your heart. And as you exhale, relax, release, soften, let it wash away any of the blocks and barriers and let it absorb into your core essence. And as you focus, bring all of your senses, your eyes, your ears, your sense of even your taste and smell, bring everything into focus on the center of our circle, this stream of light and love and compassion, and allow your senses to be met with this vibration. Your seeing, your hearing, your smell, your taste, and all of the associations there. Let them be met with this vibration of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And to bring all of your senses to focus on this essence. And again, as you breathe that in, as you exhale, bring your heart center, that funnel of energy that extends from the front of your heart space, bring that to face into this core essence of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And begin to focus your breath, so you're breathing in through your heart center. That funnel of energy at the front of your heart space is a portal. And breathe in through that funnel, filling your heart with this vibration of pure divine light, unconditional love, eternal compassion. And as you exhale, relax, release, and soften. And with each breath, let that just deepen into your heart center. And as you exhale again, relax, release, and soften, and allow your heart center to just gently open, to rest into this ocean of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And as you exhale, relax, release, soften, and just drop into the center of your body. Right? Physically align your posture. Sometimes it helps to vertically align your posture. And as you exhale, just relax and drop into your physical space, like leaning back toward the front of your spine and letting your conscious energy really drop into your pelvic space, feeling your connection with the space beneath you, feeling the support of whatever is beneath you, and letting yourself rest into that. And inhaling in this essence of light, love, and compassion deeper into your heart space. And now as you exhale, bring your belly space, that hara, which is that ball of energy at the front of your belly, bring that to face into the center of our circle as well, to be present and to rest into this ocean of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. Let it rest into that space. And continue with that breath. Our topic for today is hate versus misunderstanding. I'm sure you've heard the quote, "Seek first to understand and then to be understood," the Stephen Covey quote. Now, I'll give you a little context for this. And again, continue breathing in that essence of light and love and compassion. And first, I'll ask you a question. Are there specific things that trigger you, that you find when you hear about them or encounter them in whatever way, that there's something just like instantly pops up inside of you, a wall of resistance or protection or whatever you want to call it, that instantly says no? It's that, we all have those triggers. We all have words, people, concepts, ideas, where it's automatic in our human nature that we hear certain things and we have associations with those things that can set off a whole barrage of, what this means and what this means for me and who's trying to push me into what and all that kind of stuff, or who's done what to whom, or, what's real, what's not real, what's true, what's not true. And there's so much of that gets wound up into specific trigger words or concepts or people, and we instantly react, and that's human nature. So I ask you in this moment, do you have those? Of course you do. What are they? What are those for you? I just finished facilitating a 10-day online summit on climate change with the Climate Healers Group, and it was a true blessing and joy, I will say, to be able to facilitate this summit, to have a front row seat in the way that I did for the number of speakers that are experts in their fields that spoke about what was, the specifics, the details of what's impacting the climate change, the things that we humans do have control over, and that ways where we can live in better harmony with the planet and with nature and with animals and for ourselves. Now, this was focused on the effects of animal agriculture on the current climate crisis. A central topic of discussion is veganism. And vegan is one of those trigger words for a lot of people. It can spark an instant reaction, that pushback, right? An instant lashing out, fear, criticism is my nephew's favorite phrase, heck to the no. It can really, just the word vegan. And it's interesting because there's a lot of talk about plant-based living as opposed to veganism, because vegan became too much of a trigger word for people, right? So if we just talk about plant-based, well, that softens it a little bit because it doesn't have the same connotations with it. And, I think that perhaps the negativity comes because the veganism is so often, vegan is so often associated with activist groups that seem to, want to go out and in the name of peace, we're going to go out and violently attack these people who are doing things that we feel are violent. And, and it seems to be an extremist point of view. And so we look at that and we say, well, wait a minute, that's hypocritical. How can people be, going out in violent ways, speaking out against violence? And so we instantly say, okay, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to put up the wall because that's not ringing true in my being. But to use another phrase, well, are we throwing the baby out with the bathwater there, right? Are there some parts that we could listen to, that we could be open to hearing more about, and then discern for ourselves what we might want to let in order that we can understand and understand the details and say, okay, wait a minute, this is something that could actually benefit me here. There is something that could benefit the planet here. There is something that could benefit nature and my fellow human beings and my fellow animals. So, we tend to, that when we hit that trigger, we put up the wall, but if we can first seek to understand, there may be something there for you. And I use veganism as this example because this is what is so close in the moment, just having come out off of the summit. And it is something that is pertinent in our life today, something that we can question. The way that we eat is critically impacting the planet and the sustainability of the planet. And it's something we all need to look at, and it's something I'm very passionate about, as most of you know. If we look closely at most activist groups, yes, there are passionate people who are not perfect, and they may seem radical, but it's not necessarily that they seek to disrupt the peace, but they seek to disrupt the status quo, which has become a comfortable way of life for so many people that we take for granted. And sometimes to disrupt the things we take for granted, you have to get a little uncomfortable, sometimes a lot uncomfortable. But ultimately, when you disrupt that, it can lead to, like we're saying right now, okay, let's bust the wall that comes up, let's disrupt that, and let's look deeper, and let's look more specifically. What are the things that we can learn from here? What do we want to adopt into our lives in order to create a more sustainable environment and a peaceful world? Because many of the comforts that we enjoy depend on our willingness to turn a blind eye to violence, to destruction, to things that are not in the highest for the people or the planet, or any of the inhabitants of the planet. And if we want to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world, we're probably going to have to get a little bit uncomfortable. But honestly, a little uncomfortable now is better than what can happen if we don't change. I can use another example, an example of when I was in managing a group. I had one person in particular who was probably the most challenging, that would always push, always, had that, and you may have this too, but check in on you, because I had it at one time too, right? It was a great lesson for me. But just that thing that authority is wrong, and I think, that can get mixed up in the activism piece too. If you're in authority, then you've got to be wrong, and I'm going to fight you tooth and nail on everything you say. And this person would do that quite a bit when I was in management. And it seemed that everything that was brought to the table was an instant, you're wrong, you're bad, you're evil. And I'd be like, man, I'm not trying to be wrong or bad or evil or hurtful here. I want us to have a discussion. So, I learned to not instantly throw out everything that he said, not instantly push back against his rebellion against me and the things that I brought to the team, but to listen, to seek to understand and to unpack where he was coming from, and to say, okay, this I can hear and this we can use to make the thing better, and those other things, okay, you're going to have to, not so much, but we would talk them out. We could talk them out. I could learn from them. He could learn from them. And, eventually there would be times where I would ask him questions. And through the questioning, he would eventually come to the same conclusions. Or, but always I would tell my team, look, I have a role here and you have your roles here. We all have roles to play. It doesn't make one more dominant than the others. And if you have an idea of something we can do better, then bring it to the table. Don't expect me to be an authoritarian who has all of the answers, but let's come together. I just have a specific role and you have a specific role. But if we really come together with all of our questions and seek to understand, then we can make the entire product, process, event, we can make it better. We can make it better for ourselves. We can make it better for the people that we're serving. We can make it better for everyone. And the same is true in our organizations, in our communities, in our churches, and on our planet. And so what are those trigger words for you? What are those trigger concepts or people? What are the things that bring up that reaction in you when you hear them? I invite you in this moment, again, breathing in, a reminder to breathe in that essence of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. Reminder to breathe that in. Continue breathing that in. And just feel for yourself. What are those triggers for you? Is it authority? Is it a relationship you've been in? Is it that feeling of someone's trying to tell you to do something you don't want to do? It could be anything. What is that trigger for you? And as that comes up for you, just tune into your body and notice where those triggers are activated or what that activates inside of you. What does that activate inside of you? Do you feel your heart start to close? Do you feel like tension coming in? Where do you feel it in your body? How do you experience it? And just notice. Notice as you let this trigger be present for you, and you're hopefully in a safe space at this time, breathing in that essence of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. As you breathe that in, and observe inside your mind, your heart, your body. Notice your breath. Notice your tension levels. What is coming up for you? And invite you to just be present with, if there's a wall there, be present with the wall. If there's a feeling of discomfort, uneasiness, just be present with it. And as you use your breath to breathe in this essence of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion, and just allow it to fill the space surrounding, if there's a wall or a trigger or a discomfort that you experience in yourself, just let this light and love and compassion surround and just hold that space. And allow yourself to just witness that discomfort inside yourself. Again, allow it to be surrounded with this essence of divine light, unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And again, this isn't trying to heal it, not actively trying to heal or change, but allowing it to be held right where it is. And as we are present with it and witnessing, we turn the focus and the witness to this space with you and the trigger that you are witnessing, both held in this space of light and love and compassion. As you witness, you can invite this tension inside of yourself or whatever, however that is showing up, the wall, whatever it is, just invite it to rest into this place of, it's truly a place of acceptance. Allow it to rest into this space of acceptance, of light, of love, of compassion, and to be seen, to be heard, to be witnessed. And just witness this as it is. It may or may not rest into this ocean of compassion. It may or may not respond to being witnessed, to being seen, to being heard. Let's hold this space. Continue the witnessing. Continue with your breath, breathing in this essence of light and love and compassion to surround this space. And continue inviting this space to rest into this ocean of light, of love, of compassion, of acceptance. Breathing and allowing it to rest. Breathing and inviting it to receive and to know that it is being witnessed, that it is being seen, that it is being heard, and that it is surrounded in love. And just notice your relationship to this wall, this tension, this trigger. And again, as you breathe that light and love and compassion into your heart center, just let your heart, let the eye of your heart face this space inside yourself, the wall, the discomfort, the trigger. And notice your own heart. What is present in your heart as you face this trigger? Breathing in that essence of light, of love and compassion into your own heart. What are the voices of your heart? What is your heart feeling? And as you can just be present with what your heart is feeling, breathe that essence of light and love and compassion into your own feelings, that place of feeling in your heart. The place of feeling in your heart as you witness your own triggers. And again, invite your heart to rest into this ocean of light and love and compassion and acceptance, and to receive this vibration of this pure essence. Let it resonate through your heart space and into that center of feeling inside of you. And breathe into that space, breathing this essence of light and love and compassion into that space. And as you exhale, let yourself drop deeper into yourself. And feel inside yourself. Our feelings inform us of a need, a basic human needs that we have inside ourselves. As you breathe this in, drop into your heart space. What is it that your heart is needing? And just notice what you experience there. If you jump to, I need for somebody to do something differently in order for me to feel okay inside myself, I invite you to let that go for the moment. Doesn't mean that you're giving it up altogether, but let it go for the moment and just be with the feeling in your own heart. And drop into, like, if you notice I'm feeling like so-and-so did something wrong and they need to stop or do something differently, then that's like kind of staying in the story. What is it that you're feeling about that? What is the feeling inside of yourself? What if they don't do what you want them to do? How do you feel? You feel sad? You feel angry? You feel hurt? And what is it that you need inside of yourself? Do you need love? Do you need compassion? Do you need loyalty? Do you need friendship, companionship? Do you need honesty, truth? What is it that you need inside yourself? And let yourself be with that need. And this is a need that is inside yourself, not dependent on what someone else does. What is it that you need inside yourself? And allow yourself to be present with that, breathing in this essence of light and love and compassion into that space. To allow yourself to have your need. This is basic human need. And every human being has these needs. Allow yourself to feel that, again, even deeper inside of yourself, that place of you that yearns. There's a saying that comes from somewhere that I remember, but I don't remember where or who said it. But it is the yearning that makes us great. So allow yourself to be present with your yearning and feel that yearning. And call directly on your source from this yearning. From this yearning, feeling and experiencing your yearning. Turn this directly to your source. Just imagine your source, the essence of your source, directly in front of your heart, directly in front of your face, and turn your heart with all of your yearning directly to your source. And ask directly for what it is that you seek from inside yourself. If you're in need of love, if you're in need of truth, of honesty, of loyalty, of compassion, of whatever that may be for you, forgiveness, of patience, of trust, whatever that may be for you, ask directly from your source for what you seek. And again, just imagine this coming to you in energy form, in vibration form. As this vibration streams into the space right in front of your face and your heart, and breathe that in to your body. Breathe it into your lungs, breathe it into your heart, breathe it into the core of your being. And again, allow yourself to drop even deeper into your core, as you invite this vibration into your core essence of your being. Breathing in the love, breathing in the light, breathing in the compassion, breathing in the trust, breathing in the forgiveness, breathing in the patience, breathing in the beauty, breathing in the light. As you breathe this in, let it fill you. Let it travel through that deep yearning inside of you and fill the core of your being with this essence. This essence truly exists already within your core. Let this come in and meet that which is inside of you, which already knows this truth inside yourself. Let it awaken that part of you. Let this vibration meet that part of you and enliven it and invite it to really resonate throughout your core. Breathe into that and let this vibration inside your core, let it become stronger, more vibrant. Let it be activated. Let it really take up the space inside the core of your being. And I invite you to say yes to this truth that resonates inside your being, your inner essence of divine light, unconditional love, of eternal compassion, of trust, of truth, of forgiveness, of patience, of safety. Whatever that is for you, that you've been guided toward today, let it vibrate strong and bright inside of yourself. And as you inhale, just draw all of this into your core, and as you exhale, let yourself drop into your core and let your consciousness drop into your pelvic space and really rest into your body as this core light that you are becomes stronger within you and fills all of your physical space, grounds into you and anchors. So breathing that in to your core, and as you exhale, letting it drop down and dropping into your physical spot, physical body, physical space. And again, inhaling in, drawing this in, and as you exhale, dropping into your physical space. Continue with that breath. So often the things that trigger us on the outside give us opportunities to find these places inside of ourselves of yearning, of need, of yearning, of knowing, and they give us an opportunity to connect with and embody this deepest truth from our core selves. It's your divine essence, that breath of source that breathes you, that gives you life force, that gives you consciousness. And it is a knowing that's breathed into you at your time that your soul is breathed into your body. It's been there all this time, and it's waiting for us truly to let go of the outside pictures and drop into ourselves and recognize that we have an opportunity here. We have an opportunity to be this core light that we want to see out in the world. That's what causes these triggers so many times, is we want to see this light out in the world and we don't see it. And we instantly put up that, that discomfort comes up in us. And instead of being with the discomfort and understanding how to interact with these things, so often we put up a wall. These walls can give us opportunity to drop into the core of ourselves, to journey to the center of ourselves, to know our true selves, our true lights, and to be, again, to be the change we wish to see in the world. So as you continue to breathe in this vibration, light, love, compassion, truth, safety, trust, forgiveness, compassion, whatever that is for you, breathe that into your core. Let it strengthen, let it anchor into you and strengthen and take up space within your being. And take a minute for gratitude. Feel the gratitude for what you've received. Feel the gratitude for what you've received. And just take a minute and stretch out your feet and your toes and feel your presence all the way into the soles of your feet. You can plant them on the ground. One of the things that's also helpful to do is to stand up in that Superman, Wonder Woman stance with your feet about shoulder width apart, hands on your hips. And just feel that. Feel your center of gravity. See if I can do that here. I don't know if that's going to work. But feel that center of gravity as you stand in that stance. Feel that center of gravity as you ground in, and you feel the space right here below your belly button as your center of gravity. And feel your strength in your body as you root into the earth. Feel that strength inside yourself and let yourself feel the gratitude in your heart. The gratitude for what you've received. And again, breathe. You can stretch out your shoulders and your body. And I'll go ahead and we'll move into the Q&A section of the call if you're listening to the recording. You're welcome to join us live on Sundays at 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. U.S. Pacific Time. You can find information for joining the calls at joyfullylivingwellness.com. joyfullylivingwellness.com. Look under events and the Prayer and Healing Circle. You'll find it there, all the information for joining us by phone, by website, by Facebook now. All right. Thank you so much. Oh, and while you're there, pick up your copy of the 10 Spiritual Principles of Our Human Existence. It's a one sheet that can just give you, it's 10 principles that this work is based on, and you can print that out, multiple copies, put it up wherever you will see it often so that you can remind yourself of the truth of who and what you are. There are way too many things in this world that are telling us other than that are not true. And we owe it to ourselves to remind ourselves of the truth of who and what we are, and so we can be the change we wish to see in the world. All right, and with that, I thank you so much. I'm going to end the recording now and open for the Q&A.